There is a bone-chilling fear that resonates deeper than any other, the fear of the unknown. And within that abyss of uncertainty lies the haunting legend of the Screaming Skulls. These aren't just relics of the deceased. They are said to be tormented souls trapped in bone, crying out from beyond the grave. Their screams, echoing through time, tell tales of injustice, sorrow, and vengeful spirits refusing to rest. These unsettling tales stretch back centuries, whispering from the shadows of history. Each skull, a silent sentinel, holds within its hollow gaze a story waiting to be told. These stories transcend cultural boundaries, appearing in folklore worldwide, each telling a chilling narrative of restless spirits and the consequences of disturbing their eternal slumber. But what truths lie beneath these terrifying tales? Are they merely folklore, stories spun to ward off evil and disrespect of the dead? Or do they hold a grain of truth, a chilling testament to the unsettling reality that some things may truly refuse to stay buried? Join us as we delve into the shadowy world of Screaming Skulls, exploring the legends that have sent shivers down spines for generations. Screaming Skull legends are not confined to one corner of the world. They are woven into the fabric of countless cultures. From the misty moors of England to the ancient temples of Asia, tales of these tormented relics abound. Each story, though unique in its details, shares a common thread, a warning against disturbing the dead and the potent consequences of disrespecting the deceased. In some cultures, the skulls are believed to be those of murdered individuals, crying out for justice from beyond the grave. In others, they are revered ancestors, disturbed from their resting place and angered by the intrusion. Regardless of the origin, the message is clear. Some transgressions cannot be forgiven, even in death. These stories serve as more than just chilling tales to frighten children. They act as cautionary reminders, reinforcing cultural norms and beliefs surrounding death and the afterlife. They remind us that the line between the living and the dead is thin and easily transgressed. One of the most well-known Screaming Skulls resides in Bettiscombe Manor in Dorset, England. The skull, said to belong to a 17th century enslaved man, is believed to have been brought to the manor by his former enslaver. Legend has it that the man yearned to be buried in his homeland, and upon his death at Bettiscombe, his spirit became restless. His skull, kept within the manor, is said to emit blood-curdling screams if removed from the property. Over the centuries, many have tried to disprove the legend, only to be met with inexplicable noises and unsettling occurrences. Some claim to have heard the screams themselves, while others tell of sudden illnesses and misfortunes befalling those who dare to tamper with the skull. Whether merely a local legend or a genuine manifestation of the restless dead, the skull of Bettiscombe Manor remains a chilling reminder of the potential consequences of disrupting the eternal slumber of the departed. Wardley Hall in Greater Manchester, England, is also home to a screaming skull with a bone-chilling history. The skull is believed to belong to Roger Downes, a 16th century Catholic martyr executed for his faith during a time of intense religious persecution. Downes' head, severed as a symbol of his execution, became a relic venerated by local Catholics. The skull, kept within Wardley Hall, became associated with strange occurrences. It is said to scream whenever removed from the hall, and some believe it is capable of movement, its empty sockets seeming to follow those who dare to observe it. Over the years, numerous attempts have been made to dispose of the skull, burying it in the grounds or even throwing it in the nearby canal, only for it to mysteriously reappear within the hall. The legend of Roger Downes' skull continues to fascinate and frighten, serving as a reminder of the turbulent religious history of England and the endurance of faith even in the face of death. Perhaps one of the most unsettling Screaming Skull legends comes from Burton Agnes Hall in Yorkshire, England. Unlike the singular skulls of Bettiscombe and Wardley, Burton Agnes Hall is said to be haunted by multiple screaming skulls, each belonging to a former resident of the hall. The story dates back to the 16th century, when Anne Griffith, the youngest daughter of the family who built the hall, was brutally attacked and left for dead. As she lay dying, Anne swore that her head would scream if her body was buried anywhere but at the hall. Her family, ignoring her dying wish, buried her elsewhere. Soon after, blood-curdling screams echoed through the hall, driving the family to exhume Anne's body and bring her skull back to Burton Agnes. The screaming ceased, but it is said that if any of the skulls within the hall are removed, the haunting begins anew. a chorus of tormented souls crying out in the night. The enduring appeal of Screaming Skull legends lies not just in their chilling nature, but also in their exploration of our deepest fears and fascinations. They tap into our innate fear of the unknown, of death, and the potential for something beyond our understanding to linger after we are gone. These stories, despite their often gruesome details, provide a sense of comfort and control in the face of the uncontrollable. They offer explanations for unexplainable events, giving shape to our anxieties and providing a framework for understanding the world around us. Whether we believe in the supernatural or not, the chilling tales of Screaming Skulls continue to captivate our imaginations. They remind us of the power of stories to transcend time and culture, connecting us to a shared human experience of wonder, fear, and the enduring mystery of what lies beyond the veil of death.